Good morning, everybody. It's Anaris, and I've got a 1 versus 1 on Blistering Sands for you. You can already see who is down here. In the bottom left position, we have a DeMusliM spawning as Terran. And then up here, we have a Protoss and Artosis? Is that you? I think it is. Artosis, Protoss, top right. So you can already see the APM spam going off. Game's getting off to a start. And it's funny. Ever since I've started doing these replays, I've actually been looking, and like the first thing I look at in the game is what kind of icon they have on their command center. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being totally retarded, but I think it's just so cool that those are on there. I saw one. I think it was the David Kim game yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Where he had the Horde symbol on there, and I just thought that was awesome because I actually have Horde characters. Yes, I play WoW. I admit it. It is actually kind of fun. I've been playing forever. Actually, I think I started playing in like the day it came out. So that was a long time ago. So anyways, Artosis has a gateway going down and 2 probes heading out. Just kidding, that one wanted to do a U-turn. And Chrono Boost on his Nexus, get out a couple extra probes. Meanwhile, on the Terran base, excuse me, sir, you are not supposed to build that supply depot there as it will block your gas. Duh, any noob knows that. No. Something you'll see a lot of players do is they'll put their supply depot near the gas and they'll just lower it down so the SCVs can, toddle along and do their gassy thing. So, like I said, both players just getting off to their start, doing what they do. This probe checking out the base, realizing that, hey, he's building, he's not AFK, alright. It's going to be an intense match. SCV, I was kidding when I said you're supposed to go around the buildings. There you go. Alright. Yeah, and this SCV is chasing this probe. He's like, what? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Yeah, that's what I thought. And, yes, this probe is... He's a little down in the morale, but he's like, I'm not retreating. I'm advancing in a different direction. And yeah, you can definitely tell that I play well. And I'm in one of those moods this morning. I don't know what it is, so whatever. I'm just gonna go with it. And if the video is completely retarded, then it's completely retarded. And if not, then that's awesome. This SCV, however, he is staying in this base for much longer. I guess all the probes are intimidated. I would be too, man. I mean, this guy's got like beer cans hanging onto his hat and everything, so he must be a pretty cool kid. And the Zealot, however, he is a way cooler kid, as he is being chrono boosted out. Well, actually, his buddy is being chrono boosted out. Buddy Sentry. And we got this one Zealot here who will single-handedly defend the base, because he is pro like that. Alright. So we got double gas up for the Protoss right this minute. Protoss in control of the watchtower in the middle of the map. Only one of them, though. As I think the SCV is going to take the other one, so we're going to have dueling worker visions here. As the Terran down here in the bottom left has a couple Marines guarding his base, a couple barracks going up, we've got a factory as well. Mule just smashed into the ground. You gotta wonder why those things just don't break when they hit the ground. I mean, if they already last for like 90 seconds, you gotta wonder like how many of them actually break on the way down. I think that's why there's like 50. I think that's why there's a 50 energy for them. It's because they keep sending them down constantly, and that's like the average time that they'll be able to get them to actually successfully land. That made no sense whatsoever, so I promise I'm just going to drop that topic entirely. Okay, back on the game. Hey, we're playing Starcraft. A couple sentries at the ramp. This is a good idea for a Protoss player for when they want to block off the ramp early, and they don't want to invest too much into units early on. They can keep a couple sentries here, let the energy build up, and continuously put force fields, and then if the enemy attacks, they can, throw down some warp gates, which he's making right now, and they can warp in some units real quick to kind of react to that. And really, you can't do anything about that for a while. I mean, of course, if you get an Ultralisk, a Colossus, or a Thor, you can just trample over the force field. But in the early game, you're not really going to see those too much. So, taking a look up here at the base, he does have 2 gateways and a robotics facility. And what do we have here? I can see it on the top left. I'm going to click it anyways. Robotics Bay! Yay! Alright, a couple more pylons going down as neither player is supply blocked, I believe. Well, he is almost supply blocked, but that's okay as we do have a starport with the mighty Raven. I would love to be a Raven pilot, man. I mean, if you look at the little avatar for them, all they do all day is just move that crane back and forth. I think they're playing that game that you can play it like Chuck E. Cheese, where you grab the little teddy bear. Yeah, that game's awesome. Admit it, you've played it before. In a party, you'll like sneak off and go play that thing for like 10 minutes straight. Dump like $5 in quarters. Yeah, you know you're that guy. Yeah, don't deny it. That's you. And for the Protoss player, we do have a Colossus on the way. Let's take a look at the income real quick. Both players are actually sitting somewhat close, got about 100 or so apart. And the Protoss player does have a Nexus on the way at his natural expansion. So if he is able to get that going, could see some more production facilities going down. And, you know, Terran is not responding in kind. However, he is sending a factory over. This is the factory rush for those of you that did not know. And he's getting the final inspection from the SCV, who is still hanging out in the middle of the map. Have an observer coming over here to check out what's going on at the exit to DeMusliM's base. However, there's not too much going on at the moment. Got a couple Marauders, a bunch of Marines, and a Raven just kind of hanging out. Doesn't have anything researching at the moment. We still have the Hunter-Seeker missile here. And got a Banshee taken to the field. Banshee, but no cloak yet. Sneaky. So, we'll see what's going on here as a command center is throwing down. You can see the combat shield upgrade is on the way. And another Colossus, couple more Zealots, as this expansion is now starting to function here. This factory thinking it's a gunship, but unfortunately, factory, I'm sorry, you do not have guns. All you can do is poop out siege tanks and Thors. And some Hellions when you're feeling feisty. So, this Protoss army pretty much consists of a bunch of Zealots, a couple Sentries, Stalkers, a couple Colossi here. So, pretty well balanced force. Depending on... Whoa! I need to pay way more attention here as these Marines are saying, "Sup, rocks? How's it going? We're gonna kill you," as this little Raven has its little funsy time. It's doing spins. That's what Ravens do. So, definitely going to have some Banshee harassment here as he takes out this pylon. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly what Artosis is doing. I think he's not entirely sure which way DeMusliM is going to attack from. And since the Banshees are retreating, as he did see right as that pylon died, he's probably thinking, you know what, I'm just going to keep going back and forth. And hopefully I'll be in the right spot if the Terran attacks. So, a couple more Banshees coming out here down to the natural expansion, getting ready to take off some of these probes. 1 probe, 2 probes, 3 probes, 4. I was going to make a rhyme about a door, but I'm not going to because that would be lame. So, these Stalkers, there's only really a couple of them at the moment, so it really, if DeMusliM focuses more on these Banshees, he will really be able to do some damage to this expansion, as he is knocking off the shields right now. The Protoss player is trying to get enough enough Stalkers to fend this off. Unfortunately, you know, it did take him a little while, so the Banshees were able to do some damage, but like I said, there is no cloak research. He probably just doesn't want to waste the money on it because he knows the Protoss player can get an observer and easily just negate the investment. So that's probably the line of thinking there. However, I'm not DeMusliM, so I cannot speak for him. However, we do have a Raven running for his life, trying to get away and leaving a little auto turret here to do some damage. It's not really going to do a lot, though. But we do have the small Marine Marauder force just kind of hanging out over here, gathering with the forces a little bit, probably trying to keep Artosis here on his toes, thinking an attack is going to come from the front, while more Banshees reinforce the attack on the natural expansion, taking out the pylon, forcing the remaining probes to run up to the base, where he has a forge and 2 more gateways coming down. And you can see more Banshees are on the way for DeMusliM as well. So we do have some more Marines and Marauders reinforcing the forces up there. Another couple starports going down at the natural expansion. Base is looking pretty good here, pretty turtled in. Got a supply depots lowered here for easy unit access. As Protoss comes down here and tries to stop these Banshees again, unfortunately the Banshees are going to run, and I do not believe that he did lose any. However, I may be mistaken. But, he's got plenty of them as it is, and he's still got that Raven to detect the Observer and the Marines to take it out. So, pretty balanced force there. And looking at Artosis, he has some Stalkers, but I'm not entirely sure it's gonna be enough to match the quantity of Banshees that are taking to the field when combined with the Marine Marauder and the Raven force. The Raven has the point defense drone, and you can't see it right here, but it'll stop the Stalker attacks. So be pretty interesting to see what goes on here, as two more tech labs are entered onto the starport little powwow here. And the mules are thrown down. Had a couple successful landings there. And Protoss is moving out. I guess he just kind of thinks that he has enough to take on this army. So we'll see as the engagement draws very near here. It'll probably take place somewhere on this bridge, unless the Protoss pulls out a little bit. And that's what she said. So the Marines and the Marauders, Banshees, are pushing the Protoss forces back. Stimpak was hit, and here is the engagement. Banshees are just having their way. The Marines and Marauders are just hanging back. They don't even think they're needed, as these Banshees are just taking out the forces while they retreat down to 2 Stalkers. I'm sorry, he did just warp in 4 additional Stalkers, so 6 total. But, if you look at the quantity of Banshees here, you've got so many, and it's just going to overwhelm the Protoss numbers. So, at this point, all the Stalkers have been defeated. The Colossi are dropping like flies. Zealots are going down, and that is the complete absence of a GG. But Artosis did leave nonetheless. So that concludes this first game. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys later.